Hello, welcome to Men's Talk. Have you ever wondered why in most cultures, husbands are expected to be older in age than their wives in most cultures of the world? No matter their level of development, it's generally expected that husbands will be older than their wives. There are exceptions, of course, but generally in most cultures. And of course, the reason is because they expect husbands to be more mature, to be able to lead your home as husbands. It is expected that you have to be more mature than the wives. And of course, in those times, or even generally now, people associate age with maturity. They think, of course, because you are at a certain age, you should be mature. Or it's expected that of course, it's not. We have gotten to know that it's not necessarily true. Age and maturity may not necessarily correlate. There are those who have age on their side, but they are not necessarily mature. So you understand that, but generally that's the expectation. That's why they say, okay, if you're at a certain age, you will have certain maturity. So the conclusion is, okay, because you have certain age, yes, you are more mature, and you should be more mature. As the leader of the home, you should be more mature than your wife. But that's not the discussion for today, because yes, it's established that maturity and age are not synonymous. It's not necessary that because you have this age, then you are automatically mature. But that's not the discussion for today. However, one thing is beyond question. One thing is beyond argument. Men are expected to be mature. You as a man, one of the things that make you a man is your level of maturity. Spiritual maturity, emotional maturity, psychological maturity, mental maturity. You are expected to be mature as a man. As a matter of fact, I dare say it is your maturity that makes you a man. It is your maturity that makes you a man. So, a man that is not mature will have difficulty leading a home. A man that is not emotionally mature will have difficulty leading a home. A man that is not spiritually mature will have difficulty leading a home. Will have difficulty sorting certain things out, even about his own life. How do you attain unto maturity? Ephesians chapter 4, you can read from verse 10 to 13, talks about how you grow as you fellowship with God, as you know God more, as you spend time, as you tap into the gift. Bible says in verse that he gave gifts. Jesus, the Bible says, Christ himself gave gifts. Apostles, prophets, teachers, and other. All of that is to help our maturity. All of that is to help our maturity. So, and you cannot tap into that if spiritually you are not mature. If you don't spend time in the presence of God, or let me even go further to say, fellowship with God, fellowship with men. The Bible expects us to fellowship one with another. So in this day and age, it is the lie of the devil to think that you don't have to go to church as long as you listen to online services. You are part of online services. You're part of you listen to messages on TV. They are good. They are to complement. They are not to replace. They are to complement. Online stuff are very good, but they are to complement. They are not to replace the physical fellowship you have one with another. So that's one key way to develop spiritual maturity. Right association is also very key. Exposure, experience. One of the ways or other ways to develop emotional Emotional maturity. Let me just let me just mention 1, 2, or 3. One of the some ways to develop your emotional maturity is, number 1, to take responsibility. One of the signs of immaturity are those who deflect, are those who refuse to take responsibility. You take responsibility as a man. That is an indication of your maturity. Another one is empathy. Show empathy. Put yourself in that person's position and that situation. Own up to your mistakes. Own your mistakes. It's a clear sign of maturity. In whatever way you say, then understanding, knowing yourself, understanding who you are. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable, admitting your mistakes. Or can I say, admitting your limitation, your vulnerability, where you understand that you're weak. That is an indication of maturity. If it's expected of a man to be mature, you have no other option. You can't excuse it away. Let maturity be part of what you will aspire and seek after. Be mature. That's another edition of Men's Talk. God bless you. I'll see you another time.